Midwest Broadway Chronicles, episode 26. This is the movie section. This week, the movie I'm going to focus on is Predator Badlands. I'm going to go in depth because it's a movie that's worth it. Awesome. Exciting. Exhilarating. Profound. Sadness. Like heartbreaking. Madness. Rage. It's a good ass movie. It's a really good movie. Brian Trachtenberg, I love you. Or Trachtenberg, however the fuck you say his name. I love you. You've made it less complicated than people tried to make it to make a Predator movie good. Going back to the Predator that came out, when was that, 2015, 2016, with the guys who were convicts, that was trash. There's been more than a few misses, but I do appreciate Prey that came out in 2022 and the one that came out with Adrian Brody and Lawrence Fishburne in like 2012. Those are my favorite Predators off the bat. This one took that spot. It was awesome. Top to bottom, it was really fun to watch. I was reading comments that said the first 10 minutes were making the movie more than enough worth it. And I was like, come on, first 10 minutes to tell me the movie's worth it? They weren't lying. They weren't fucking lying. The first 10 minutes of that movie were exciting. It was so cool. It's not trying to work to make you confused or make you overthink the plot line. We know what's going on in this movie. The Yautja, which is what the Predator's race is called, have a tradition to essentially go to wherever they choose in the cosmos and bring back a prized possession that proves their worth, their strength, their goatedness, if you would. And in the movie, we watch the main character, Deck, essentially be told he's the run of the family. He's the weakest. He shouldn't be alive. They cull their weak in this culture. So murder him is the first thought on his father's mind. And of course, we see the pushback at the beginning of the movie, which again, I'm not going to spoil too much. First 10 minutes, though, kind of give you a glimpse into what's going to make you upset, what's going to get you excited. And Deck is a character that everybody could follow, that everybody could end up loving because of how he goes through his journey in the movie. Put himself on one of the shittiest planets in the universe, technically the worst planet, which, how can you say worst planet? How the fuck do you know it's the worst planet in the world, in the cosmos, universe, whatever? You just have a directory that tells you every single... I laughed, but anyway, it's him trying to go out and prove his worth and come back with something that's worthwhile. And the movie was just so fun to watch. I'm thinking in my head Transformers type shit. Alien, even in the same ilk of Predator. Movies where Friday the 13th, Halloween. Movies where I don't need to overthink what I'm watching in front of me. This shit is clear as day. You know what's going on. He's trying to literally defend his honor, prove his strength, prove his dominance, and be able to go back to his father and say, guess what? You ain't shit because I knew I could do this and you didn't believe in me. He's going to find this humongous, monstrous-ass monster, the Kalisk. And I'll spoil that because the Kalisk is probably one of the coolest parts of the fucking movie. And it's terrifying. It's terrifying to watch him fight this humongous monster and think to myself, is he going to survive? Nobody else will survive, so how the fuck is he going to survive? It doesn't make sense. He gets more than a few really good hits on this big ass monster. He really does his shit. He puts in the work to think like, man, he really could win. And then you see the reason why he shouldn't be able to survive a battle like this with a Kalisk. Elle Fanning's character was amazing. Thea and Tessa, she played two characters in the movie technically. She did great. I love her more than I've ever loved Dakota Fanning. Side note, sorry Dakota Fanning. Your sister is so much prettier than you. She's so much better at acting than you, I personally feel. I just have never been able to put Dakota Fanning's face in really good movies all the time. Push when I was a kid. The one she did last year, The Watchers, was not good. 2 years ago, I guess. But Elle Fanning crushes her role as Thea and Tessa. She's funny. I was hearing people push back because Deck, the main Yautja that we watch in Predator Badlands, talks. But when you say talk, you make it feel like he's talking in English or something. He's talking in Yautja tongue. He's speaking in their language. The actor who plays Deck had to learn that language in order to speak it for the movie. So It was weird when I was hearing people kind of push back and I don't know. They're letting him talk, so they're ruining the movie. This isn't the old Predators. This isn't AVP when I was a middle schooler. This isn't the Predator that even came out with Adrian Brody. Even the most recent one, Prey, where they're still trying to find a way to keep them stealthy and like mysterious, almost if you would in a horror movie kind of trope where like you don't need to know about their faces, what they look like. Almost want you to be so terrified when they finally get their helmet taken off or ripped off or whatever. And I've never felt that way. I absolutely love supernatural monsters, Word to Hellboy and Pan's Labyrinth and all those crazy ass movies from when I was a kid that just, I mean, if you weren't afraid of it, you enjoyed it. And so looking at a Yautja who's the Predator, I was never like, oh my god, he's got fangs on his face. Pretty sure if you like Alien like I do, you never really looked at monsters and said, it's so terrifying. So that was a weird statement to make, that you didn't want the Yautja to talk. Did we just want a silent movie the whole fucking time with nobody talking but Elle Fanning talking to herself because he just nods his head and I didn't want that to be that kind of movie. I really enjoyed him talking. I don't know what you get out of him not talking. Sure, with Arnold Schwarzenegger back in the 70s and the 80s, yeah, I guess it was cool because it was Arnold Schwarzenegger's movie. It's not about Arnold Schwarzenegger in Predator Badlands. It's about the fucking Predators. It's about the Yautja becoming great predators. That's what it is. They're no longer preyed on. They want to be predators. And it's such a good movie. I really was so impressed by the fight scenes, by the cinematics, less CGI and more just visual spectacles. Beautiful scenery, beautiful backgrounds. Just watching the trek through worlds, through different continents, different blah, blah, blah. It was so cool. They made the movie worthwhile across the board, and they didn't work so hard to make you feel like you had to find something about the movie to hurt, to hate, or find something about the movie to say it's not good enough, this doesn't hit this point, this doesn't. It's not what you need to do when you go watch Predator Badlands. If you like Alien and Predator like I do, you're not going in there to see something different. You're going in there to see a Predator be badass, to see their weapons, to see how they do things, how their culture actually moves, the things that we don't see in any of the other Predator movies, that we've never seen in AVP or anything. It never explained to us about the Yautja and what they go through. Prey was such a good movie, but didn't go in depth about the Yautja. It was, again, a civilization having to come to grips with, we gotta defend ourselves against something that we cannot defeat and deceive like we can each other. And they just don't work too hard with trying to throw more boomerangs, more characters, more plot conflicts, or different climaxes. They put it right in front of you and say, his climax is going to be getting to the prize that he wants to get to. And then what happens when he gets to that prize is what ends up becoming the biggest part of the movie that kind of shapes who Deck becomes at the end of the movie. Why we get so excited at the end of the movie to see what he's getting ready to turn into. Because he's getting ready to be a badass motherfucker, bro. BMF, bro. BMF. Guaranteed that's how cool he looks at the end of the movie. Almost could call out the plot at the beginning of the movie and know that it was going to be an immediate comeback, prove who I am, look you in the face and say, I never needed you, and now I'm better than you. So I'm taking your spot. That kind of feeling. That is a alpha male, as somebody who just wants to be the one in control. Alpha female too. The one who wants to be in control. You look at it and say, in order to take power, I have to become power. In order to know my power is more than yours, I have to prove my worth more than you can. And it is a very fun movie. An hour and 45 minutes of utter fun, excitement. My heart was engaged the whole time. I'm one of those empathic kind of people, and so when I watch movies, I immerse myself in movies, and this is one of those that I was feeling every emotion, every frustration, every sadness, happiness, rage with Deck, with our main character, with Thea, with all of our people. It was not even people, synthetics and Kalisks and Yautja. It was just such a good movie that didn't work too hard to make me overthink. I was sitting there like, no, kick that ass, whoop his ass, beat him down. He ain't shit. Show him the way. Humble this motherfucker, bro. Like, It was so fun. Cinematics, action, sequences, conflicts, resolutions, gear, gadgets, learning on the fly, all those things make it so fun, because the things that we've seen from Predator in all the previous movies and all the previous ilks has been how skilled they are, how terrifying it is to come up against one, because their only goal is to defeat you. It's defeating you or death. That's it. There's nothing in between, and that puts such a better like compromise in your heart of thinking like, if you ever ran into one of these guys, you would not have a life to talk about after. You'd either be dead or they'd be dead. And it gets you so excited to think about what Deck went through on this planet to become what he is going to become, and why it makes you even more excited for Brian Thatchenberg to kind of do his own universe. He's done such a good job, and I just was pleasantly surprised and happily surprised, and by far one of my favorite movies of the year. And I'm happy because it's off the rip. It's not a rendition of something or a remake. It is a Predator movie on its own, about the actual Yautja and their lives, not about who they're chasing or who they're fighting. It's about the Yautja proving their worth, and it was such a good movie. What a fun movie to end the year to, and the last 2 months to give us something like this was just so exquisite, and I absolutely loved it. So you guys go and see that movie, please. Predator Badlands is worth it. Don't even need to talk about what it is. More, go in if you love Predator, if you love Alien, if you love that universe like I do. Go in and just enjoy the movie, because you know what a Predator already is. You've already seen the fear they have when they're cloaked, and when they throw their sights, when they throw their little fucking star things that spin like grenades. They have too many means to take you out, so it gets you more fearful. But watch this movie and think about the origin story of what makes them so great and why they become fearless, because it's worth it all the way through, 100%. Alright guys, Midwest Brown Boy Chronicles episode 26. This has been the movie section. I'm your Midwest Brown Boy, Jalen Brownford, signing off. Appreciate you guys for watching any videos that I post. Thank you so much. You guys have a good one. I'll talk to you guys next week. See you later.